Let me ask you, did you know that some groups use coercion through blackmail as a way to control its members? Did you know that some groups target those in the entertainment space? Did you know sexual slavery in Hollywood and in the entertainment world is a real thing? Something to think about. The truth is, many get caught up in schemes by the many predators hovering in and around the Hollywood trenches and in the various corners of the entertainment world. And for some, a life of financial and sexual servitude, including sexual slavery and forced labor, occurs. I'm going to share with you a brief story of Allison Mack, an actress known for her role on Smallville, who pleaded guilty to racketeering conspiracy and racketeering related to her alleged role in a sex trafficking case. This directly relates to those wanting to break into Hollywood because one of the programs which she co-created was used to recruit actors. And in her defense, her lawyers argued that if the Church of Scientology is not guilty of exploiting forced labor through blackmail, neither is she. And for young aspiring content creators and filmmakers joining the ranks of the new Hollywood generation, this directly applies to you. All of that and more coming up. Welcome to Hollywood Unapologetic. My name is Orlando Delbert. I wanted to speak a little bit about filmmaking essentials, sex trafficking and the sex slave cult, racketeering, forced labor through blackmail, a secret society and a church both labeled as cults, and how it applies to the new Hollywood generation. I should mention before we get into it, I first wrote about some of what we're about to touch upon, success in filmmaking, in life, and how it applies to the new Hollywood generation when I was writing Pollyanna's Tear-Soaked Battlefields of Hollywood, Survivor Guide Against the Cynicism and Hypocritical. We want to know your questions, comments, and idea suggestions you may have. Please write them below. Leave a thumbs up if you like what you see. Make sure to click on the subscribe button. Click that bell so you don't miss anything. Be sure to check out the videos in the playlist. New to film production, start here. Be sure to watch all of the way through. We're going to speak about a lot of things as part of being best prepared. Remember, preparation is the key to you and your project's success. For many aspiring filmmakers, they dream of becoming full-time filmmakers. They dream of breaking into the Hollywood system. Some dream of being able to make a living performing on stage in front of the camera. Some dream of leaving a long-lasting legacy. Some dream of becoming a household name. Some dream of becoming rich and famous. With enough planning and dedication, anything is possible. Far too many get caught up in the schemes by the many predators hovering in and around the Hollywood trenches. In the hopes to better protect you, today I want to speak about one of them, sexual slavery in Hollywood and in the entertainment world. This is a topic I've spoken about before in earlier episodes. To give you some context, sexual slavery is attaching the right of ownership over one or more persons. This is done with the intent of coercing or otherwise forcing them to engage in sexual activities, which includes forced labor. Sexual slavery may also involve ritual slavery, which is sometimes associated with certain religious practices. Yesterday, April 8, 2019, actress known for her role on Smallville, Allison Mack, has pleaded guilty to a racketeering conspiracy and racketeering relating to her alleged role in a sex trafficking case. As part of her guilty plea, Mack admitted to state law extortion and forced labor. She admitted to extortion, forced labor, and keeping a slave. As part of a secretive wing of NXIVM called DOS, she described the company as a sex slave cult, which, as she described, was designed to make women slaves. According to court filings, in 2015, co-founder Keith Raniere created a secret society within NXIVM called DOS. It's an acronym that stands for a Latin phrase that loosely translates to Lord Master of the Obedient Female Companions, or the vow. DOS operated with levels of women slaves headed by masters. Slaves were expected to recruit slaves on their own, thus becoming masters themselves, who in turn owed services not only to their own masters, but also to masters above them in the DOS pyramid. Women that were involved in DOS have claimed they were branded and coerced into having sex with Raniere. If members did not perform services for her and other ranking members, including Raniere, they could suffer serious harm. Both Raniere and Mack kept a collection of documents and photos of potentially embarrassing information about the women. They used it as collateral to keep them from leaving the group. Mack and other DOS masters recruited DOS slaves by telling them they were joining a women-only organization that would empower them, and in doing so would destroy any claimed weaknesses the women felt they had. Mack was arrested in April 2018, but she pleaded guilty ahead of an April 29 trial date in Brooklyn Federal Court before jury selection was scheduled to begin. It's important to note, Mack is the third person involved in the NXIVM case to plead guilty in the last few weeks. The co-founder and president of the organization, Nancy Salzman, and her daughter, Lauren Salzman, were the first two. Lauren Salzman, who pleaded guilty to conspiracy last month, admitted to enslaving a woman for 2 years. She told the court, "I knowingly and intentionally harbored Jane Doe 4 a woman whose identity is known to me, in a room in the home in the Northern District of New York. She added that she also threatened to deport Jane Doe 4 back to Mexico if she did not complete labor requested by myself and others. Raniere pleaded not guilty to new charges of exploiting a child and possessing child pornography charges last month. Here's where it gets a bit more interesting. Lawyers for Mack argued in a Brooklyn federal court in December of 2018 that if the Church of Scientology is not guilty of exploiting forced labor through blackmail, then neither is she. According to court papers that was filed on December 20th of last year, Mack's lawyers argue that Mack's threat to release naked photos and disparaging statements made by cult members against their relatives doesn't rise to the threat of serious harm required to prove someone engaged in forced labor. The government argues that Ms. Mack obtained forced labor through threats of serious harm, with serious harm being the embarrassment that would result from the exposure of one's collateral, the court filing said. Courts have found, however, that such an outcome, albeit embarrassing, does not amount to serious harm under the statute. The argument cites a 2009 case in which a couple unsuccessfully sued the Church of Scientology for forced labor. The court did not find that plaintiffs were compelled to remain in the organization even though, if they chose to leave, they would be excommunicated from their friends and family and labeled a dissenter. Mack's lawyers said threat of reputational damage and isolation from loved ones therefore did not qualify as serious harm. Is my speaking about how many get caught up in schemes by the many predators hovering in and around the Hollywood trenches make sense? Does my speaking about sexual slavery in Hollywood and in the entertainment world make sense? Does my speaking about forced labor through blackmail make sense? If it does, write hashtag New Hollywood Generation in the comments below. That's hashtag New Hollywood Generation. One thing worth mentioning, according to the Justice Department, during the past 20 years, Raniere established a series of purported self-help programs. This is all within the umbrella organization of NXIVM. It maintains features much like a pyramid scheme. Its courses cost thousands of dollars each, and participants are encouraged to pay for additional classes to rise through the ranks of the organization. One of the programs which Mack co-created, The Source, was used to recruit actors. The argument that was used about the lawsuit against the Church of Scientology is interesting. The Church of Scientology has a history of court disputes in several countries, and in some of those instances, the church initiated them. But in relation to the topic of this episode, I want to use an example by former church members filing suit against the church. In 2009, Mark and Claire Heatley sued the church under the Federal Victims of Trafficking and Violence Protection Act of 2000. The church acknowledged that the rules under which the Haleys lived included a ban of having children, censor their mail, and having their phone calls monitored. They needed permission to have internet access, and they were disciplined through manual labor. In July 2012, the United States Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals noted in a ruling Mark Healy had been made to clean human excrement by hand from an insertion pond on the compound with no protective equipment. His wife, Claire, was banned from the dining hall for up to 8 months in 2002. She supported herself on protein bars and water and lost 30 pounds. And to comply with the Sea Org's No Children policy, she was coerced into having 2 abortions. This is in addition to the Headleys and others experiencing physical violence from Scientology executives. According to the First Amendment, the church is protected under the Free Exercise of Religions Clause. The church can use its ministerial exemptions in employment law to change the direction of imposing litigation over its treatments of its members. The relevance for those wanting to breaking in to the entertainment and Hollywood worlds is for some, they fall victim to schemes like I've just mentioned. In the case of the Church of Scientology, the church's main goal is to be recognized as a religion. This has been met with a lot of opposition, including several governments labeling the church as a cult. In 1999, the United Kingdom rejected an application for charity status and the attendant tax benefits. The church applied for Canadian tax-exempt status in 1998 and was rejected also in 1999. And I believe it's not registered as a charity, or at least not as of 2009. In Austria, the organization withdrew its application to register as a religious confessional community. The Church of Scientology are not prohibited or limited in any way in the European Union, however. They have the same freedoms as do any other churches in the countries in the EU. Without getting into further detail about human rights and defamation litigations the Church of Scientology has filed and lost, the point of this episode is that the entertainment space is filled with charlatans, and in most cases it's about control of people and of money. As in the case of the Church of Scientology, in a lawsuit, Church of Scientology International Inc. v. Mitchell Daniels, United States Courts of Appeals, Fourth Circuit dated May 4, 1993, the judgment of U.S. Court affirmed summary judgment against Scientology, which failed to prove that Mitch Daniels had defamed it by stating, and I quote, "The Church of Scientology is no church. It's a commercial enterprise. Every judge and every investigative journalist who has ever looked at it has come away with that conclusion. It is organized for only one purpose, which is to make money." Whatever you want to label organizations like the Church of Scientology, NXIVM, and DOS, and the individuals that benefit from the members they recruit, the entertainment space is an appealing target, very appealing target. Think about it. For many that come to Hollywood, they have no plan. They have no direction. Many just show up with the hopes of being discovered. Hollywood is the homeless capital of the United States, and spending any time here, you can see an almost endless sea of humanity living out on the streets, many of which are young people. I've spoken to many over the years, and so many have the exact same story. And as I just mentioned, they just hope to be discovered without any preparation whatsoever. They want to be rich and famous, and that's it, nothing else. So they end up doing whatever they can to get by. This town is littered with those who have had their ambitions stepped on. Some have had their projects stolen. Others have fallen victim to casting couches. Yes, that's a real thing. Some go LA crazy and just get caught up in the anonymous sex and drug culture here, taking up years of his or her lives. These patterns can lead to no positive outcome towards their career successes and can have devastating effects. And when one's hopes and dreams become broken, if not shattered altogether, these organizations offer hope, all too often false hope. They position themselves in a way to take control of the lives of its members, and in some cases in a life of servitude, sexually, financially. And in saying this, I have a challenge for you. My challenge to you is I want you to look at what your dreams are and to think about creating a plan. Look at what others have done and learn from his or her successes, and even more importantly, their failures. Think about what you can do best to prepare for your future. Think about creating a timeline of actionable tasks that you can do to ensure you're one step closer to achieving your dreams. The purpose of the series is to help you be best prepared for your success, and not just in the entertainment world, but in your life as well. You can do anything you truly want to if you plan, prepare, and are resilient to the obstacles that come your way. Set a goal, make a plan, and just do it. One more thing. As part of the new Hollywood generation, others just like you are asking the same questions of themselves. You are not alone. We're all in it together. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe and click on the bell to know when we have more for you. And more episodes are coming. Please share it with someone you know who may find what we spoke about today beneficial. Like if you like what you see, just like if you don't. Let us hear from you. Are you going to use what we discussed today? Yes or no? Let us know in the comments below. Please consider what I offered you today and consider what your role in as the new generation of content creators. Feel free to take advantage of other members in the new Hollywood generation community. We're all here to grow together and to help one another. And you know what? If there is a subject you want to know more about, I just want to say hi. Please do. These videos are designed to not only offer information to those who want to succeed in the entertainment space, but also fostering a community of new content creators of a new generation, the new Hollywood generation. We have a strong group on Twitter. Come join the new Hollywood generation and meet some of fellow filmmakers and content creators. As members of the new Hollywood generation, take the time to assess what your short-term and long-term goals are. Make your plan, take a breath, go for it. You can do it once you believe you can. Are you ready for the challenge? If you're looking for filmmaking for beginners, Filmmaking 101, and for some filmmaking tips on how to want to be a filmmaker, make sure to click on the subscribe button. Click that bell so you don't miss anything. Looking for how-to filmmaking essentials? Be sure to check out the videos in the playlist. New to film production? Start here. Think of this channel as a film crash course, filmmaking crash course, and an introduction to filmmaking entrepreneurship to build the skills needed well beyond just how to succeed Hollywood and beyond whatever discussions other how-to film school, how-to indie filmmaking in general, how-to film industry channels just don't talk about. The whys you truly need to know to help you grow as a thought leader in life, the entertainment industry, and how it applies as part of the new Hollywood generation is in this video series and in the Pollyanna's tear-soaked Battlefields of Hollywood, a survival guide against the cynicism and the hypocritical series of books, links below. Remember, preparation is the key to you and your project's success. Ready?